Alright, so we are just over 1 week until the iPhone 14 and 14 Pro models are announced at Apple's September 7th Far Out event. Now, we've seen a ton of leaks and rumors, and one of them has caught my attention, and it would potentially solve a problem that many different iPhones have suffered from for years. And it just so happens to be an issue that I've talked about on my channel plenty of times before. You could even say too many times. So in this video, that is exactly what we'll be talking about. Now, before we get into any of that, I need to address a serious concern of mine. At the time of recording, we currently have just over 5.8k subscribers. Now, in comparison, our first video ever has almost 7,000 views. This has been going on for far too long. That very first video has too much power over us. So it's time that we take a stand and take that video out once and for all. So I need every one of you watching this now, if that subscribe button right below does not currently say subscribed, I need you to destroy that subscribe button. Absolutely destroy it, and I don't care how you do this. Just make sure that you change that text from subscribe to subscribed. Now, a whopping 98.3% of viewers watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel, and this needs to change. So if you are one of those people, like I said, who has not subscribed to the channel, it is time that you join us to take the first video out once and for all. So it's no secret that Apple's A series chips that are used in the iPhone are some of the best out there. Even years after use, they still never fail to impress and perform incredibly well at pretty much any task that you throw at them. Now, one of the problems that have plagued iPhones for a very long time, I mean, we're going back to the days of the original iPhone SE, the iPhone 6s as well, which was even earlier. Even some newer iPhones like the iPhone 12 Pro suffers from this issue. And of course, that issue is something that we've talked about on the channel a lot, and it's overheating. Now, this doesn't just have implications on battery, but it also affects performance, aka performance throttling when the device gets too hot. And even after a certain temperature is reached, sometimes features like your flashlight will be disabled until the iPhone cools down. Sometimes if it gets too hot, you'll even be unable to use your phone at all. And this is a problem that's a lot less common with a lot of competing Android manufacturers because they include cooling solutions. Now, one of these cooling solutions is expected to come to the iPhone 14, at least the iPhone 14 Pro models. Now, of course, it is one of the lesser leaks, meaning that it may not happen. It's kind of a ballpark, really, whether or not it will happen. But according to a few different leaks and rumors over the past year, it has been said that Apple is, quote, aggressively developing some type of vapor chamber cooling system, which would, if done well and correctly, effectively reduce the overheating problems that existing iPhones suffer from. Now, this has a variety of benefits, one of them even possibly being longer battery life, because when you're performing a heavy task, maybe even playing a game, a graphic intensive game, your phone will start to overheat, resulting in shorter battery life. Now, another benefit that ties directly into this is longer battery longevity. So we all know that lithium-ion batteries suffer over time and they chemically age so that your maximum battery capacity drops. So it's estimated with lithium-ion that around 500 charge cycles, your battery will have 80% of its original design capacity left. That means that basically when you fully charge your iPhone to 100%, it's really only charged up to 80% of that original 100% design capacity, because again, debris has built up inside of the battery. Now, this usually warrants a battery replacement and shows its age with noticeably shorter battery life over time. Now, one of the leading causes to battery degradation is overheating, and if iPhones adapt cooling systems, the overheating will be reduced and probably less frequent, resulting in less battery drain, resulting in less frequent charging. Now, this means that it would take longer to reach a full charge cycle depending on how you charge your phone, and that also means that it would probably hurt your capacity less than it would without a cooling system, as it would effectively take more time to reach that estimated 500 charge cycles. While I would argue that the battery lifespan and longevity is the most important thing that could benefit from a cooling system in an iPhone, there are a ton of other minor things, minor annoyances that cumulatively build up into one larger annoyance that happen when your iPhone, or don't happen rather, when your iPhone overheats too much. So we'll start out with one that is the LED flash being disabled. Yes, when your iPhone gets too hot, you will be unable to use your LED flash. Now, I feel, however, that is a very minor thing, considering that if you're in a situation where your iPhone is too hot to use the LED flash, I'd assume that you're also in a situation that you won't need to use your LED flash because it would probably be bright enough in your environment to be able to see what you're looking for or take a picture. Now, I'm positive, of course, I'm saying that, which means there are probably people out there who have been in a situation where they need to use the LED flash for some reason, but their iPhone is too hot for it to work. So in that case, I'm sorry. But personally, I just feel like it's very unlikely, so it is much more of a minor annoyance. Now, the next problem is a little bit larger in scale compared to, the LED flash being disabled. And that has to do with the charging. So when your iPhone overheats, the charging speeds can be reduced. And in some cases, depending on how hot the phone is, completely just stop. And this is a problem, considering that you need to charge your phone when it gets too low in order for it to, work. Now, when you overheat, when you wirelessly charge or use fast chargers, but it's, I think, more common with wireless chargers, iPhones tend to overheat. This is completely normal, unfortunately, but it is. And I feel like a cooling system would definitely help in a situation like this. And the list goes on. The next thing is cellular signal. So when your iPhone overheats, your cellular signal can be weakened. And this is, I feel like, maybe a less noticeable issue, depending on where you are when your iPhone overheats, or how frequently your iPhone overheats, or even how reliant you are on cellular data. But it's definitely there, and I feel like in the right situation, at the right time, in the right place, this can be a problem. And the last issue that I want to talk about is the slowed performance. And I saved this one for last because it is a very classic symptom or side effect of overheating. So this happens in not just phones, but in tablets, iPads, computers, plenty of devices that you use on a daily basis. When they overheat, their performance will be reduced. This is called performance throttling. And this is a completely normal thing, and it helps cool down your phone. So this will only be really noticeable when you do things that are graphic intensive. And on older iPhones, in some more severe cases of overheating, you may start to notice some stuttering throughout the OS, but it shouldn't be anything major. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. And again, we're talking about probably like severe overheating at that point, because even with the iPhone SE first gen and the iPhone 7, I haven't really noticed anything that made this system awfully stuttery. So overheating, of course, in conclusion, is not a good thing at all. We don't like to see overheating, which is why I always covered it in all of my iOS reviews on the iPhone SE, the iPhone 7, and pretty much every other Apple device that I've talked about. And I personally hope that the iPhone 14s, at least the Pro models, do have some type of cooling chamber, the vapor cooling chamber. Right now, it is, like I said earlier, a ballpark. We don't know for sure, but last we heard that Apple was, quote, aggressively working on this. So it is something that we could see with the new A16 Bionic processor. It would be a game changer in my opinion, because now we might be able to unleash the full power, the full force of the Apple A series chips, especially the latest one, the A16 Bionic. So I do look forward to that, and we don't have very long till we find out. September 7th is just over a week away, and I'm looking really forward to it. Let me know if you guys are going to pick up anything after the event, maybe new Apple Watch Series 8. Which one? Are you going to get the Pro or the normal Series 8? If you're going to buy a new iPhone, pre-order will only be 2 days after that, with launch expected to be just 1 week later on the 16th. Are you planning to buy a new iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Pro, or are you going to skip out this year, maybe not upgrade for another few years? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you found it helpful in any way, or just entertaining, whatever. Make sure to subscribe, really important, destroy that subscribe button. Of course, follow me on Twitter at IceCool Tech. Discord has been revived. You can join that using the links in the channel about page or on the banner art if you're using a computer, or there's going to be a link in the description for that too. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.